Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby will have a high-profile challenger trying to unseat her in next year's Democratic primary.
That's right. Attorney Ivan Bates launched his campaign over the weekend, saying disarray in the state's attorney's office is hurting in the fight against crime in Baltimore City. ABC 2's Christian Schaefer talked with Bates today about the first political campaign that he has ever run.
This morning we are here in Park Heights.
Ivan Bates started his run to try to become the next Baltimore City State's Attorney Saturday in Park Heights in front of the home of Kendal Fenwick, who was shot and killed back in 2015. Police have a suspect in custody in connection with Fenwick's murder, Devontae Brim. At the time of the shooting, Brim was already facing an attempted murder charge, but was not in jail. Kevin Fenwick, the father of Kendal, said he would be supporting Bates in this election.
If the current state's attorney would have done her job, my son may be still living today.
Bates worked as a prosecutor in the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office from 1996 to 2002 and has been a defense attorney since then.
I'm in court almost every day for the past 22 years.
So far, there's been 230 murders in Baltimore City in 2017. One reason for the spike in crime, Bates believes, is that many experienced prosecutors have left the state's attorney's office, and he says some of them would return if he is elected.
They've expressed, hey, I miss my job, I love my job. I want to be there for the people. I want to come back and I would work with you.
4 days after the riots broke out in Baltimore City in reaction to the death of Freddie Gray, Mosby announced that 6 Baltimore City police officers would be charged with crimes related to his death. Bates represented one of those officers, Sergeant Alicia White. None of the officers were convicted. Bates says Mosby should have taken more time before deciding whether to charge the officers.
You have to have a thorough investigation. You cannot be in disarray because you remember, you don't want the victim's family to go through that process again. You owe it to the citizens to investigate and to do it right.
Now, a new conflict has emerged between the state's attorney's office and the police department. 3 recent cases where police body-worn cameras caught video of officers appearing to recreate the discovery of drugs. Mosby dropped criminal charges against the suspects in those cases and also more than 100 charges against other suspects who had been charged by those same officers. Bates said if he were in charge, he would not have dropped all the cases related to the officers in question.
When you sit down and you look at the body camera footage, one thing you have to sit down and do is say, okay, maybe there is an issue. Can you prove the case with secondary evidence? And it's a case-by-case basis, and that's what you must do.
He also said he is committed to trying to improve the relationship between the state's attorney's office and the police department.
And they have to work together because until the police and the state's attorney's office work together, this crime rate will never be solved.
Bates and Mosby are both Democrats. The Democratic primary is scheduled for June 26th of next year, and there are other local attorneys reportedly considering getting into this race. Christian Schaefer, ABC 2 News.